Each and every one of us is our own personal Frankensteins, a special blend of experiences that is unique and one of a kind. Our own personal Frankenstein. As she stares into the mirror, Sally notices all these blemishes, all these scars, the stitches that hold them together, the staples that hold them in place. Some of them have healed over, while others are still a little on the raw side and still hurt to touch. As she stares into the mirror, she starts to really focus in on these scars. She looks at them as creases and disfigurements. She sees horrific marks, the total opposite of beauty. As she looks into that mirror, she keeps getting sadder and sadder, looking at her face, her body. She starts getting down on herself. But then, out of nowhere, there seems to be a special glow in her eyes. A glow that sprung out of nowhere, almost like that feeling of light inside just rose up and now radiates out of her. Her skin gets that shine, her eyes sparkle, her lips start to shift into a smile. This inner light started whispering to her and said, "That scar, that one across your cheek, that is from where you grew up. That is there to remind you of where you came from. That scar there, the one on your neck, that is from two pieces that were put together. That is from your mother and your father, to remind you that you have traits from both of them that you have inherited. They were put together to create you. These pieces, these scars, are what make you special. They make you unique and one of a kind. Nobody else on this planet has the special blend that you do. The scar there on your chest, that is the one from the neighborhood you grew up in and the lessons you learned there. That scar on your shoulder is from a mistake, a little bad judgment on your part, but it's okay. It happened and you learned from it. The scar on your back of your neck, that one's still painful. It's from a friend that you learned the hard way was not very trustworthy. She hurt you and that wound is still deep, even a little infected. However, that is an open wound we still need to heal. If we talk through it, we work through it, and don't try to hide it or let our hair down to cover it, we can begin to let it heal. If not, it can become infected and even more painful. So that one we can put some stitches on and let the skin heal, and then it will become a scar to remind you of that lesson, but not the same pain as the incident. You may have these scars, these pieces, but every single one of us is made up of pieces. We have pieces from our parents, pieces from the way we grew up, the area we lived in, the lessons we learned, pieces of the friends and people we hung around with, pieces from the activities we took part in, growing up and taking on the world. That is where all these scars come from. Each one has its own special story to tell. Each has its own lesson you learned. So take a look at these scars and your roadmap of an amazing life you have lived so far. Some scars will hurt more than others, but they have made an impact on who you are today and the beliefs you carry. So please take a look at them and see how truly beautiful you are. There is not a single person on this world that is exactly like you and with your special blend of skills, traits, and experiences. Sally kept staring at her reflection and looking at her body. But this time, she's filled with amazement, filled with joy, and filled with sadness. Just filled up with all these amazing experiences she has had in this life, and sees them as the roadmap of her life of where she's come so far. She sees this as a map of her past, and she will use it to help push her into a greater future.